Would you look at that? We finally have some leaked gameplay footage along with some screenshots on one of Xbox's biggest games. The game we're talking about is Redfall, which was announced last year during E3 2021 and has since been pretty dead silent. Yet finally, we have a beta leak along with leaked photos. Let's get into what is being talked about and the new details about the game. There's a lot here, so let's do this. Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. Alright, enough of that. Let's finally talk about a game I'm actually truly excited for, which is Redfall, the perceived 4-player co-op action shooter that's being made by one of Xbox's most talented studios, Arcane. You know, the studio that made games like Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2, the studio that made Prey, and the studios that recently brought out Deathloop for the PC and PlayStation 5. They're actually a pretty big studio that have multiple teams, which one of those teams for the last 5 years has been working on Redfall. This has been said to be one of the biggest games in their history and definitely their most ambitious game ever. And when I saw the game last year during the reveal at E3, I was super excited for it. I couldn't wait to see gameplay, and I also knew it was going to be a big game considering it was a game that closed out the show. Not to mention, every single executive and announcer at the E3 show for Xbox had the Bite Back t-shirt on advertising the game because they have so much faith in it. But now, let's get into what the game is all about and if these alpha and beta screenshots are something we should be worried about or if this is just development going on. Here's what's said. Potato quality Redfall gameplay surfaces online from apparent beta build. Redfall gameplay has seemingly leaked online from a beta tester. Just below, you can see the latest episode on a podcast series from YouTuber GameTropics posted yesterday on March 7th. A roughly 7 minutes and 10 seconds into the episode, the podcast hosts begin discussing Redfall, Arcane's forthcoming PvP shooter, and also displays a few brief seconds of slow motion gameplay. Firstly, the short gameplay clip shows a loadout screen for one of the human characters in Redfall. He's kitted out with a main weapon, a sidearm, armor, a medkit, and something called a memento, which appears to bear a resemblance to a ring in the game's menus. Alright, so let's break this down from the bottom up. The first thing we have to address is the line saying this game looks like a potato. First of all, how could you even diagnose a game behind a stream on YouTube that's in beta running at like 15 frames per second? So while the game does look rough, we obviously don't know what build this is and if it's alpha or if it's a beta, and we just don't know what progression the game has made since this has been shown off. Remember people, a lot of games don't come together and turn into the game they are until about 8 months before the release of the game. That's where the most optimization comes into play and putting the game together comes into play. So while the gameplay, which I'm not going to show on screen, is rough, this is still a game that's well over 6 months away from being released, if not longer. In fact, there's been rumors indicating that this game might be delayed into 2023 because they need more time with it. Which, if I'm being honest with you, is something I could see happening because Arcane has never made a big game like this before. They're usually making single-player first-person games that have expansive world hubs with stealth mechanics attached to them. Yet with this game, it's potentially an open world with 4-player co-op and first-person shooter mechanics that also has abilities attached to each character. This is an ambitious game, and the developer might need more time to execute the vision they have planned. But now, I want to get into the actual gameplay and what was being leaked. Next, the gameplay cuts to a few seconds of the human player character gunning down an AI-controlled vampire character in what looks like a suburban map. After being shot with a few rounds, the vampire crumbles to a pile of ashes, and the player character can loot the ash pile for some medical supplies. The build is set to date from September, but it's said to be issues with the capture of the footage rather than the game itself that led to the truly abysmal frame rate in this short clip. Okay, so I know what everyone is going to say right now. This game truly reminds them of certain games that have come out before, games like Back 4 Blood, which launched on Game Pass back in October, and I actually enjoyed playing, and a lot of people did because it reached over 6 million people in such a quick time. Or games like World War Z, which was a 4-player co-op zombie hunting game, which again, I loved. Or games like Warhammer 40k Dark Tide and Space Marine 2, which again will be co-op adventures. That's what this new Redfall game sounds like, and to some extent this might split the Xbox fanbase because they don't want those type of games anymore, or they would rather see Arcane do what they do best, which is slow-paced, single-player games with these crazy big worlds that they create. Yet I would say Redfall might be a little different from those other games I mentioned before, or those co-op games I talked about. If I had to pick one, I would say that this game could turn into something like Borderlands. If we remember, last year during September, there was this big rumor and leaks that Redfall was going to be a Borderlands-esque game with the same open world where you can play with friends. This was something that was talked about by multiple media sites, and so many insiders were reporting the same thing. So it was kind of like a perfect storm. Now, if the game is that massive, then I understand why it's taking them 5 years to make something like this. And it would actually lead me to believe that they do need more time for the game to be polished. So a 2023, early 2023 release date might be something we're looking at. In fact, this leak was mentioned in the article right here. This isn't the first time details of Arcane's new shooter have made their way online ahead of schedule. Last year in September, several screenshots depicting characters, loadouts, weapons, and environments leaked online, showing viewers the kind of customization and maps they could expect in Redfall. To me, with this many leaks and this many people talking about the game, it could only mean one thing. This is going to be a massive game, and a lot of people are testing this game to make the best experience possible. Arcane isn't a stupid studio. They understand they're making a new type of game they've never made before. They understand they have to play test this out of their minds so they can polish it to what they expect it to be. That's why we're seeing these leaked images. It's why we're hearing about the game a lot, because it's been in a lot of people's hands. And after talking about this game with multiple people on Twitter and on Xbox Party Chat, I do have to say this might be a game that people are divided on. Some Xbox fans, or just fans in general, want a single-player paced game like Prey or like Dishonored, where they can sink their teeth into something like that. They basically want an Arcane game because they love those type of games they make. They aren't excited for another co-op adventure game from Xbox. To those people, all I can say is Redfall is looking to be a massive release for Xbox and Bethesda, and it just might be the first game Xbox gets from Bethesda after the acquisition. So I'm personally excited for this game because I enjoy co-op gameplay. I enjoy games when I get to play with my friends. Even something like Elden Ring, which I've been playing non-stop, I've been in a party with friends discussing the game like crazy. That's the difference for me. Gaming is a social aspect and always has been. So when Arcane announces a brand new co-op adventure hunting vampires with your friends in this abandoned city, you better believe I'm excited for it because it's the type of games I always gravitate toward. I love playing co-op, I love playing with friends, and I'm glad that Arcane is developing a massive game in that field and kind of stepping out of their comfort zone. Don't get me wrong, I love single-player games, but to me, Xbox's identity has always been co-op and multiplayer. They've always been at the forefront of connecting gamers to play together. That's what Redfall is going to do, provide us a brand new game that we all get to play together. And if the rumors are true and it's a Borderlands-esque game with a massive open world and a looting system or massive open world hubs, I'm going to be there day one and going crazy on the game. Because I love those types of games, and to be honest, when Borderlands 3 launched on the Xbox, there was a lot of problems with the game. It crashed my console multiple times, so I stopped playing it because of that, which gives me that itch to play a brand new Borderlands type of game with my friends. Let's hope Arcane executes this game to perfection because it truly can be a brand new IP that Xbox and Bethesda can hang their hats on. It's a tall order considering it's a new venture for Arcane, but I think they have the resources and most of all the talent to pull it off. Don't judge the game by the leaked footage or the crappy screenshots we saw. Judge it by the gameplay that's going to be shown this year, and judge it when you get to play it yourself. Either way, I'm excited to see what Arcane has in store for us. Let's hope we get to see the game at this year's E3 with some actual gameplay. But enough of what I think about all this. Tell me what you think about this. Are you excited for Redfall? Did you see the leaked footage and the screenshots? Did you want Arcane to make a single-player game? Or are you happy with a co-op adventure game with friends? Will Redfall get delayed into 2023? Or will it make that September release date it's rumored to hit? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, you guessed it, all I'm playing is Elden Ring. can't stop playing it. Just found a whole new other area, found like 3 other underground areas. This game is massive. It is the biggest single player game I've ever played, bar none. It's even bigger to me than Skyrim. I understand that's blasphemous to say, but I played Skyrim for multiple hours. I'm talking about hundreds of hours. And this game's looking like I'm going to get even more hours out of it because there's different classes, there's different builds. You can do pretty much anything you want as long as you get high enough level. I'm almost level 100. I have like 80 or 90 hours into the game. I'm loving every second of it. There's bosses, there's big things going around. It's beautiful. The world almost feels like a character in and of itself. So I'm really looking forward to just jumping into that almost every single day, and I can't wait to progress the story. I don't even want to beat it because I don't want to let this game go. It's so much fun. I recommend everybody check it out. I know it's a hard game because it's a From Software game, but trust me, it's far more lenient, it's a lot more expansive, and you have a lot more variety in how you can fight and how you can play this game. So go down below, let me know what you're playing. Are you on your PS5, your Xbox Series X, or are you on your PC? Let me know down below because that's what we're here for, so talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.